Microsoft Donji University.
Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu-alaikum. Ji ayanu pakhairagale. Ni hao, chunashumme, washmale, ohai gonzaimes, guten morgen. Hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifahal, hale shoma chatore, ahlan wasalan, marhaba, buna, mucho, gracias, swabia, bhalli kare aaya. And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into PTV World. You watching World this morning alongside the one and only Shahzad Hassan Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope and I feel and I pray that everybody out there is safe and that they're doing great in life as well. Ladies and gentlemen, for all of those 46 countries you may probably be in and that you're tuned into PTV World, first things first, I'm going to say Jummah Mubarak and then I'm going to say Happy New Year. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the very first day of my work in 2021 and I made sure that I'm going to be at work. And this is something which does matter to me and this is something which will have results which I am waiting for in my life. And I think that this is something which we wanted to talk about today as well, because yesterday we were in conversation with our colleagues, with our mates, people we work with, our friends as well, and we kind of talked about New Year resolutions and how New Year resolutions can actually help you have a good character or probably have a good life. But one way or the other, somewhere in the middle of the year, we kind of forget about our New Year resolutions. And we are back to being the same we were. And I think that this is something which scares me quite a lot now, since I'm in my mid-30s and I really want to be somewhere where my daughters are proud of me as well, where my parents are proud of me, where my entire family is proud of me, and not just my family. I think I have a bigger mission. I want my Pakistanis to be proud of me as well, and which is why, ladies and gentlemen, I continue to strive. I continue to strive for excellence, and I continue to wake up, dress up, and show up. And I think that these are the three things which I've always stood by, and I've always made sure that no matter what happens, Shahzad, you have to get up, you have to dress up, and you have to show up. No matter how I feel, no matter what problems I have within my own mindset as well, no matter what things are pulling me down, if I have to, kind of see myself there, because if I'm visualizing myself somewhere when I'm 40, I really need to work for that. And ladies and gentlemen, this is how things happen, because actions do speak louder than words. People who miss out on work, probably, because today when I was coming towards work, I could hardly see a car on the road early in the morning, which means that everybody was celebrating New Year's. No harm in it. But alongside the celebration, you should really be on top of your goals. You should really be on top of your calendar. You should be really on top of your schedule. And if you're not, I don't think that you'll be feeling great as well. But okay, let it be. One day you can really relax no matter what happens as well. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that this is something we've picked up on today. We want to be in conversation with somebody who, for me, ladies and gentlemen, is an epitome of success. Not just that, I think that he's one of those people who have earned such respect, who've earned such a career to himself, and that is because of discipline, that is because of good planning, that is because of family support, and that is because he wanted to do so. So one way or the other, while we were young, while we were, getting older, our parents always used to tell us, beta, think big, think big. Now, whenever we come down to the point, okay, what do we need to think about? If we are to think big, what should we think about? Okay, should we think about elephants? No, I don't think so. But I think that one thing which our parents have missed out on, and it's not their fault, I think it's the complete generation that they had that kind of thinking process, that they never told us to how to break things down. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important aspect so far, which I feel, is that people who know how to break things down into smaller goals and then go step by step are the people who actually achieve bigger goals or bigger dreams, or they are the ones who are now labeled as that they were big thinkers as well. We will be talking about that, but right now, ladies and gentlemen, one of my very lovely nieces, his birthday is today. Khirat, a happy Hatch Day to you too as well. So I'm going to sing her a song. Can we please show a picture? That's where Khirat is. She's one of my very favorite nieces, and she's the niece of our producer, Snan Hamid. Happy Hatch Day to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Khirat. Happy birthday to you. Wonderful. Well, obviously, she's more cute than our producer, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, it's her birthday today. So for all of those people celebrating their birthdays today, ladies and gentlemen, happy Hatch Day to all of you. Now, coming back to life, okay, one day, happy birthday can probably be that day when you can actually take a day off. This is what I believe. But other than that, I think I've given a preamble. We will be getting started with our conversation now. And without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be introducing our guest and talking about that we do make New Year resolutions, and then one way or the other, we kind of forget them 15 days down the New Year. We are like the same old Shazad or the same old whoever you are. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined with somebody who's a Rhodes Scholar, he's an author, he's a poet. He is Professor Irshadullah Khan Sahab. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning.
Walaikum salam. Good morning to you.
Good morning and Happy
and
New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
Jazakallah, sir. Thank you very much for joining us, and it's always wonderful to have you.
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Likewise, sir. And alongside Professor Irshadullah Khan Sahab, ladies and gentlemen, we have even invited two youngsters who in their life are doing a great job, but we really still wanted to know whether do we miss out on our goals just because we were lazy? Do we procrastinate quite a lot? Or do we think about things, okay, yaar, you know, मैं कर लूँगा यार, हो जाएगा, तब भी हो जाएगा. But I don't think, you know, since the day I've entered my 30s, I know for sure that, you know, things do not happen just by saying it. हो जाएगा जानी, कोई tension नहीं है. Please don't do that. Don't procrastinate and don't rely on whatever thoughts you have in your head. Okay, you know, yeah, my father has left a lot of property, man. I think I'll have a good life. Come on, man, that's not a good life. You probably need to work for yourself, stand on your own feet, and own the world, man. You should always be in control of your life. This is something which I've learned as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, she's a radio broadcaster. She went to US for an exchange program, spent a semester there studying marketing. And I'm always very happy when I see somebody that they were very keen to study marketing, because I myself am a marketer, ladies and gentlemen. Even in bachelor's and in master's, I studied marketing. And imagine that in my own head, I am a product and I market myself. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by Maria Akbar. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning, Happy New Year.
Walaikum assalam, Shazad. Thank you for inviting us, and Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to everyone watching us.
Wow.
May this year, you know, come with a lot of blessings for every one of us.
Alhamdulillah, wonderful that is. And ladies and gentlemen, as you can already tell, that she does really look like a radio broadcaster as well. But it's wonderful to have you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And alongside Miss Maria Akbar, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually been joined by somebody who's studying in Beijing. And he's studying something which I want to study now. Because the world is changing, you know, the ways with which the commerce was working earlier are changing as well. You know, it's a global village. We say that the world is a global village because of internet. So Google ads and all of these things, ladies and gentlemen, is the real thing these days as well. And I think in days to come, probably we might just only be exchanging data and getting valuables. I think that time might come as well. He is Mr. Bilal Ahmed. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Walaikum assalam. Good morning, Shazad, and Jummah Mubarak.
Jummah Mubarak, thank you very much for joining us. Wonderful to have you. And this was a very wonderful thought, which I think I'll share with all my viewers as well. So early in the morning, sir, since I do another program on PTV Sports with Shoaib Akhtar and Rashid Latif.
Yes.
So I sent a Happy New Year message to Mr. Rashid Latif early in the morning. And he replied me with Assalamu alaikum, Subah Bakhair, Jummah Mubarak, or Naya Saal Mubarak. And I thought that this was something which is very interesting as well. But before I start my conversation with sir, I want you two to let me know that where are you guys in your life? What New Year resolutions have you made? And obviously this will be very early to ask whether you fulfilled them or not. But let's go back to 2019, that for whatever New Year resolutions you had, have you fulfilled them so far? Bilal, I'm going to start the conversation with you.
Acha, so I was just having this conversation with my friend last night, or I was saying, okay, this year, do you have anything planned? Because for me personally, last year, if you asked me the same question, I would have said a lot of different things.
All right.
But right now, at this point in my life, I think New Year's has been something that I haven't been looking forward to.
Right.
Because the smaller steps you take, the more happier you are.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm not looking at the next year. I'm just looking at to the end of the day. Am I happy enough to, you know, sleep and then wake up next day and be happy again?
That's great. It's a wonderful thought. But I'm going to take you back to 2019 about the New Year resolutions. But if you remember, and there's a reason why I'm asking this question, because just yesterday we did a show with our colleagues, and today when I came to the office, I asked her, you know, oh, do you remember your New Year resolution? She was like, hey, can you remind me? You know, so if that's the kind of New Year resolutions we are making, what are we going to do with our lives?
True.
So go ahead, tell me.
So I had the thing that comes on top of my head is I wanted to travel in 2019. So I remember 2019 summer, I was in Shanghai, I traveled all across China. And then I was planning on going to South Asia, specifically Indonesia, Bali and all of that places.
Yeah.
But then COVID-19 took place, and then I remember 2019. I was basically aiming to start my own venture and to grow it big.
Yeah.
And that came to a stop now, but Alhamdulillah, it's going good.
Alhamdulillah, that's fine. And I think I've got something to relate with you as well, because even I wanted to travel the world. This year around it was COVID, but all the other years I didn't have money. It's perfectly all right. Mario, what about you? What would you
okay.
say about your New Year resolutions?
Yes, in start of 2020, I made that I was really optimistic about at that time I was graduating from my bachelor's, so I thought that yes, just right after bachelor's I will get a job, and I will be in a company, and then and will start my career. So
Yeah.
that was my first resolution was now I had to go into real start my career. But what happened is thank God that I graduated on right time just before the corona.
Yeah.
And then whole world is shut down, and there's for 2-3 months I see that, oh my God, I have to sit at home and this is not gonna work. And yeah, I was doing a part-time job and I have lost that as well. But after 2-3 months, then I realized, no, I don't, I will start a job no matter what the job is. And then I got in a company, and then then I got a corporate chance as well. So 2020 has been lucky for me, and I got I got a new job, and things work really well. Plus, if you see that while seeing other people around us who are in so much trouble, I feel so lucky that me and my family remain safe in all this duration. But my resolution was to start a career in my you can say majors, but I was successful in the year end.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes. So Alhamdulillah, now for 2021, I think that the resolution should be stay happy in every situation.
Exactly, and I
Yes.
think I'm going to agree
And
with
stay
Bilal as well,
positive.
that towards the end of the day, if you're happy, I think that next day you're going to
Exactly.
wake up happy as well. Okay, this is fine. Take it step by step. But now, sir, I'm going to come
Sure.
down to you, where I want you to share your story with us, because once you were just like us as well, thinking about what should I be doing, and what kind of goal did you set for yourself, what kind of challenges did you face, and then how did you make sure that you're going to stay strong, keep on the track, and then once once you've done it all, you'll probably enjoy it all as well. Please let us know.
Well, as I was coming this morning, this very beautiful New Year day, a clear day, to PTV, I was thinking that how blessed are we with such a lovely day to start the new
Exactly.
year. And basically my mission in life has always been to think of new things, not to stay stagnant,
Yeah.
but to move in moving waters,
Continuous progression.
continuous progression. That's the way I look at life.
Wow. I think it's wonderful, but sir, at times, since we are kids, so I think today we might probably be discussing about our insecurities as well. That, okay, we might, because everybody has this insecurity of failing, that God
Yes.
forbid, man, if something wrong happens, what if, next day I wake up, I do not have a job? What if next day I wake up, God forbid, my parents are not around? What if, so these what ifs have a lot of impact on your thinking capability as well. So what is your best response to what ifs?
My best response is this, that in life, in all our life, entire life, there are a lot of what ifs.
Yeah.
Every day there's a what if.
Yeah.
We are surrounded by these what ifs. But we have to be confident that God has given us such a beautiful life
Exactly.
that we have to overtake these what ifs
Yeah.
and move forward.
Exactly. But sir, it's easier said than done.
Yes,
I
yes.
think that's how I'm going to put it as well, because all of these what ifs are going to be around you. You really need to be confident. That's fine. Within your
Yes.
own self, you are confident. And You're
Yes.
like, okay, Allah Mia, we
Yes.
have the power of Iman and faith with us
Yes.
as well, and we want to go that way. But half of the time, we were the lucky ones, alhamdulillah, that we have had very supportive families.
Yes.
They've always supported us. So, God forbid, if we ever had to look back, our parents were there, alhamdulillah. But there's a major population of people who really do not have a support system around them, and when they feel insecure, that insecurity kinds of depletes their confidence.
Yes.
What to do in a situation like that?
That's a situation where other people will have to give them support.
Yeah,
That's the main thing.
exactly.
Because, no one can stand alone.
Yep.
And particularly if a person is depressed or is feeling down, he needs that kind of support.
Exactly.
So it's very, very important for people who are around us to see the signs of depression that may develop.
Exactly.
And then at that time to help that person so that he overcomes that depression and doesn't go down further.
Exactly. Wonderfully explained as well. But over here, you know, I'm going to move on to Bilal and Maria now. So let's you know, whatever insecurities you have, whatever things you've been thinking about, you have to pose it to sir, and then sir will let us know what do we have to do about it.
Perfect.
I will share mine as well. I mean, I don't think that it was an insecurity, but shukar alhamdulillah, I've always been very confident, and it is because of the fact that this is how my father has raised me. And I'm saying my father because he's always given me that confidence, because once I was thrown out of the job and I rushed back to my father and I was like, hey, you know what, you know, so my job's no more. And then my father was like, what salary were you getting? I was like, I was getting this salary. He was like, don't worry, I'll give you the same amount of money, but you need to look for another job. And I think I was very happy then that,
Yes.
okay, you know, finally, then my uncle, my chachu, he started his own business. My father told him that whatever money you're going to invest in it, even though he had that money or he didn't, that's not what matters. What matters is the amount of confidence he's giving. He said, whatever amount of money you're going to invest in your business, if you do not get it back, I'll pay you the same amount. So he kind of kept on investing, and now he's very thankful for that kind of confidence which he got. So at this point of life, what insecurities do you guys have?
So the first thing,
So, and you have to answer these insecurities, sir.
Sure.
I was talking with this Mr. Rashad Saab like just this morning. It's that you said, right? When you're 30, you want to be somewhere in your life where you're looked upon,
Yeah.
settled, or everything is good.
Alhamdulillah.
And right now, people say this is your time to enjoy. If you don't enjoy, you won't enjoy later.
Yeah.
And then again, people say this is your time to work. If you don't work now, you'll regret in your 30s.
So do you listen to people quite a lot?
That's what I'm asking, sir.
Ah.
Like, should we listen to this kind of people who say you have to enjoy this, or do you have to listen to the other ones?
That you have to work.
True.
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah.
So, like, there's one aspect of you working in your 20s or like the teen years,
Yes.
and then you enjoy your, 30s and 40s and 50s, what
Yes.
else? And there's another aspect where you enjoy your teen years, enjoy your, young adult age, and then you suffer in your 30s and 40s.
Yeah. Suffer when you're not young and only adult.
Exactly.
Yeah. God forbid.
I believe that you have to keep it moving forward. You, as I said earlier on, you cannot become stagnant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
And whenever you become stagnant, that's when you stop moving, progressing in life.
Exactly.
So it's very important for you to keep moving forward.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's wonderful, sir. To move forward is wonderful. But I think it's about striking the right balance as well.
Yes, yes.
And I think when I was 24, 22, 23, I was living in Karachi. I was working for another private channel then, and all I did was work, had a bit of glamour to it, and then fly back to my parents, in a month's time, and say hello and hi as well. But one way or the other, sir, now what I've realized is, because we are very different age categories
Yes.
today over here.
Yes.
So now what I've realized is that there's, alhamdulillah, I'm very thankful to Allah Almighty, because this is the only thing which I've prayed for. Allah मियाँ आप काम दें, मैं काम करूँगा.
Yes,
ठीक है?
yes.
यही दुआ है मेरी हमेशा. अब काम है सर, टाइम नहीं है. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. इसका क्या करें?
हाँ, टाइम तो आपको निकालना पड़ेगा ना.
हाँ, ये.
आपको निकालना पड़ेगा.
बिल्कुल.
इसलिए टाइम कोई और तो नहीं देता है.
So how do we prioritize that, sir? कि अच्छा, now for example, if it was New Year's and I was working, I couldn't take my family or my kids out to see all of that atishbazi and all of that as well. Now, obviously, my daughter's not going to feel very happy about it. So
No.
do you think that I should have stopped working and then gotten back home and then probably taken them somewhere out as well?
Yeah, I think you should have taken them out.
Hana? So, yeah, this is what we were talking about. So how do we prioritize that? Because we're not at that stage of our career where we can do things with
As
our
you
own
want.
will.
If you're doing,
Yes.
So
yes.
what do we do then?
Yes, I think the choices are there, but family comes first.
Family comes first. Wonderful.
Family comes first,
Always.
always.
So no matter if you're losing out on something,
Yes.
you should always be focusing on your family.
Family.
Okay, that's rule number one.
I've learned
decided
that.
today on that as well.
Yeah.
Maria, what about you? What are your insecurities?
Yeah, so my insecurities, you can say that, I used to work a lot, like in office and in radio, some community service as well, and with some YouTube channels and some Facebook channels as a
Yeah.
host. So there are as you said, there are a lot of work, But still, many of, you can say, from family members, not like direct family, you can say from relatives, they used to say, yeah, बहुत ख्वारी करती हो,
Yeah.
It's like, you work a lot. Why you work a lot? Like, get a government job.
Okay.
That's the thing, that's a government job tag. So, how to like cope up with that, and how we can say that no, we don't need it. That's not our priority.
Yes.
We can like do better than a government job holder. But still, there's a tag. Then you must get a government job.
And
one more thing, the
Sure.
marketing is our passion. You can say those who pursue for marketing, that's their passion.
Yep.
But people ask you to say, go for CSS.
yeah.
We don't want to, but people keep asking us, go for CSS. You should, because you can do it. So
I think
for
about CSS. There's only one problem, and that is that the very people who actually tell you to do CSS, actually they want to enjoy once you become a CSS officer. So that's a very different story. But sir, please share your thoughts about what she's asked. That government job kar lo bete, CSS kar lo, secure life.
That's the advice most parents give to the
Yeah.
children. That CSS will give you security all your life. You'll have a good pension.
Yeah, true.
And you are settled for life.
Exactly.
That is what most parents tell their children. And then there are some children like you and like me who say, no, we want to go our own path.
Yeah.
And carve out our own path.
Exactly.
And perhaps we're happy in that.
Alhamdulillah.
By Allah's grace,
Alhamdulillah.
we're happy in that.
Because every single day, sir, now when I wake up, I think this is something very interesting, and a lot of my people will not know. And that is that when I was a kid, sir, I was like almost 5 or 6 years old. So we used to go to Karachi. My khala used to live over there. And then me and my elder sisters weren't allowed in the movie room, but my mother and my father and my khala and my khalu would sit down and watch a movie together. And my younger brother was allowed in the room. So I used to watch the film through a keyhole. And I think that the first film I watched was an Indian film and of a very famous actor. And since then, I wanted to work for television.
Yes.
And even while I was sleeping, I could actually see myself in my dreams working in a film with that legendary actor.
Yes.
And every day now when I wake up, I am so thankful to Allah Almighty that I'm doing something which I enjoy the most.
Yes. Yes.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a blessing for people who actually get to do what they wanted to do in life.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Allah nazre bad se bachaye sabko. But now, sir, is the most important question which I'm going to pose towards our youngsters over here and then come down to you. And that
Sure.
is that half of the time I think that we're not defining success correctly, making sure that we are so following Dwayne Rock Johnson or probably the money team, that
True.
boxer as well, and making sure that we kind of keep a look at the kind of lifestyles they have, or for that matter, Kardashians as well. Everybody's following them. I mean, imagine that we never think that our life is very different from what their life is. They post up a picture on Instagram, they get $1 million. We post a picture on Instagram, we hardly get 150 likes. So I think everybody needs to know their ground. Everybody needs to know what they are built for and what they should be doing. This is something which I'll be asking them, but after a short break. And there's one more thing, and this is very interesting, and that is that God forbid, if a man dies and he's left a lot of money in his account, that means that was the hours of work which he wasn't really supposed to do. Whether they're going to agree with it or not, this is something which I'll be asking after a short break. Good morning.
Passion for polo will be the highest on the world's highest polo ground. Chandur invites visitors to experience a traditional polo tournament between the teams of Chitral and Gilgit. The tournament is held on Chandur Pass, the highest polo ground in the world, at 3,700 meters above sea level. The first time a polo tournament took place on the Chandur Pass was in 1936. It is a place unique and exotic in itself, surrounded by some of the most spectacular mountain scenery in the world. The event marks the annual rivalry between the teams of Chitral and Gilgit. The polo tournament has some added attractions for the visitors: trout fishing at the nearby streams and lakes, and a festival of folk dances and music of northern Pakistan. The event in itself offers a fascinating insight into the lifestyle of the people of this region. Their culture and indigenous customs are a delight to behold for the visitors. Crystal clear lakes, snow-covered mountains, alpine flowers, and vast stretches of green grass are added attractions. Fairs and festivals of Pakistan.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PTV World, you watching World this morning alongside Shahzad Hassan Khan. Assalamu alaikum once again. Jummah Mubarak and Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Today happens to be the 1st of January 2021. I think the most common mistake we've ever made was going to school and writing 2020. 1st January 2020, because we never knew there was 2021 already. But it's perfectly all right, ladies and gentlemen. Before heading out towards a short break, for all of those people who just tuned in, let me just give you a preamble of what we were discussing. We were discussing about making realistic New Year resolutions as well and sticking to them. How people tell us to think big, but they do not tell us how to break bigger things into smaller things, and then smaller things into smaller objectives, which will lead you towards your bigger objective. This is something which is very important. Nobody tells you these days as well, because there's no written formula for it. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody has to carve their own path as well. But before going towards the break, I wanted to ask our youngsters whether what kind of perception do they have about success in life. And not just that, there's this other thing which I wanted to ask, and that was that for all of the money you are going to leave behind, God forbid, if you're going to be no more, that is extra hours of work which you weren't supposed to do. Let's see what our youngsters have to say about both of these things. Bilal, success for you.
Acha, to I remember talking to a fellow entrepreneur, Mustafa. He's Egyptian, he's a diplomat in China, and he's starting coaching program.
Wow.
And one thing that he said just stuck with me ever since. I think it's been a past couple of weeks now. So he said, success lies in between of three things.
All right.
That's you define your passions, you choose your values, and then you align your vision with that.
Yeah.
So that intersection between these three things,
Exactly.
passion, values, and your vision,
Yeah.
is where your success lies.
Wonderful.
Because success for me is something else.
Yeah.
Success for you is something else.
Exactly.
But to be very honest, right now,
Passion, values,
Values,
and your vision.
and your vision.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And that's something that, I felt ki yaar, waki, this is something that's, there. As long as my passion is aligning with my values, whether the values, family, travel, whatever, and then your vision, that
Yeah.
after this much years, I want to be this. Or,
Exactly.
whatever your vision is.
Wonderful.
And for me personally, I think starting my own venture and going big is something that I've been dreaming of since like the past decade or something. And starting different things, learning from different ventures, joining different educational programs and this and that. And now I've come to peace with making education accessible in Pakistan, and that's what I'm working for.
Wonderful, and we want to wish you best of luck as well.
Inshallah,
and what about the extra amount of money you leave behind?
Acha,
What do you have to say? Do you think that it's the vestige of all of those hours?
Personally, I disagree, but morally, I agree. So, again, my personal level.
Because that's how it sounds, कि यार ये बात तो ठीक लग रही है.
True, it sounds very, very morally correct. But personally, I disagree because eventually, there are people you love, there are people you care about, and money does play a role in a better lifestyle.
Exactly, and we're not going to disagree to this. I think that you've said it right as well, but it was just for the person who's worked harder as well. Maria, what about you?
So basically, success for me, every people has different goals in their life. Like for a student, the right away success is, they see themselves, they have a good job or they have a family, and they are like studying higher education as well. That's like you can say right away success after studies. But for me, success is that the happiness and satisfaction level right now I'm in. That's like success for me. If I'm happy with my life, that's a success for me. If I'm satisfied with my life, that's a success for me. I want to mention the thing that during this whole 2020, I saw my young fellows, my class fellows. They took like Corona as an excuse for not doing work. Corona, just chill. You will get a job later. For studies, there is a Corona. There's a Corona. So Corona is excuse for everything, and they are not ready to try. That's the thing missing, in especially youth. I saw. They didn't give a try. At least like.
At least one should give it a try. And very quickly before I move on to Professor Saab as well, there's one more thing which I wanted to ask because we're talking about success. Now, in an era where we're talking about Ducky Bhai, or we're talking about people who are trolling on internet, or people who are TikTok stars, and people are and they're doing stupid things. Not all of them, but there's a majority of population who are doing a lot of stupid things over the internet as well, and getting famous and getting paid for it.
True.
In their terms, they are very successful. But to be successful, do you really have to choose a path where people are going to call you stupid or label you something of that sort? How much does that value you? Because you've talked about values yourself. Go ahead.
I thought personally, and even at this point in my life, I don't think so they did any stupid stuff because everything is changing at a certain pace that it's unimaginable right now. And there's a famous quote that the change is the only constant thing in today's world.
Exactly.
So what they're doing is something that we might not understand.
Abusing somebody over the internet.
But the thing is, see, abusing and being a TikTok star, it's
or
very
Bola Record, or people like these. Come on,
But the thing is, we make them successful, right?
Yeah.
You and I watch them.
Exactly.
You and I laugh off their content. You and I make them successful.
Exactly, that's true.
And that's a problem. I think that's a huge problem for our Pakistani community, because we enjoy something that's we don't want in our lives, but we want. Okay, so this is happening, ha 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 ha. This is something happening to somebody, and we get, amused by it.
That's not what I'm asking. What I'm trying to say over here is that imagine that all of those people who are going to, or probably who are kids, who are watching their content, they will have a very different definition of success in their minds if they're going to see people like Ducky Bhai or Bola Record. I mean, for example, imagine that if you'll watch Muru, he's doing a wonderful job. If we talk about Zishan, this motor vlog guy, he's doing a wonderful job.
True.
It's not everyone. But we do not want people to follow the footsteps of people who we do not think have done it right.
See, that's the thing I feel, that you cannot force somebody to follow something.
Yeah, obviously.
Because for example, if I watch Moru,
I watch him. I love it.
And I'm amazed by it. The content that he produces, it's amazing. And then the way I feel, somebody else feels about the same thing about maybe Ducky Bhai or somebody else. And I'm not somebody to force it. But eventually, I don't want my kid to follow that.
Okay, let me simplify it. Do you want to be Bola Record or Muru?
See, that's...
If you have a choice.
If I get more money in Bhola Records, definitely still not.
Okay, so he's the money guy as well. Mari, what about you?
Yeah, I'm like, this is causing a lot of impact on, kids as well. So the responsibility comes to parents that whether they, they must not, give a chance their kids to watch such things. Plus, it's personal choice as well. I never use TikTok and I don't watch TikTok, and
Alright.
I don't have that application.
Yeah.
My friends do have an. I convince them not to watch, and better not to watch. So
Sheikh
on-
Abu Dhabi and Dubai are actually on TikTok now.
yeah, they are, and
Yeah.
but the thing is,
Gigi Hadid
we
as
are
well.
just strolling,
stars.
then the screen goes on, and we, that we want to watch something, but the screen is allowing us to watch different.
Yeah.
So it's responsibility comes to parents as well, plus youngsters as well. They don't watch content which is not to our values.
Okay, fair enough. Sir, coming back to you now. Success, the amount of money you leave behind, and then the kind of inspiration kids are taking these days from social media stars.
Right. Success is at different levels, actually.
Okay.
Like when I got the Rhodes Scholarship to go to Oxford, at that age,
Yeah.
that was a fantastic success.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Very true.
And then I was reading my poems at the Royal Court Theatre in London
Yeah.
in 1965. And I had read Dom Moraes and Bulswenka, it was a Commonwealth Festival,
Yeah.
were also there. And when I was coming out of the theatre from the back to go to a pub nearby, two old ladies were approaching me.
Yeah.
And they said, "Sir, can we speak to you?" I said, "Yes." They said, "We wanted to tell you that not only did we like your poetry, but we like the fact that you had a normal haircut." so you see,
Wow. This is back in
60,
60.
65,
All right.
1965.
Wow.
So, that was a different kind of success. Pleasing to old ladies.
coming.
Yeah.
So success is at different levels. And one should never stop thinking forward.
Exactly.
One has to think of success coming every day if possible.
Yeah.
True.
One must never leave one's struggle.
Exactly.
One must wake up every day with the thought that what new is going to happen in my life. And what have I learned from yesterday?
Wow. Wonderful.
So one should never stop thinking of going forward.
And success should come to them every single day, ladies and gentlemen. This is
Exactly.
the kind of setup we are talking about. I think that's wonderful.
Yes.
And it's
Amazing.
wonderfully and simply explained, ladies and gentlemen, and I think everybody needs to work this way. But sir, what about the amount of money we leave behind? God forbid. Do you think that those are extra hours of work?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think the money we leave behind for our family
Yeah.
is very important.
Exactly.
And I think that money serves a good cause,
Exactly.
looking after people whom you love.
Exactly. Wonderfully said as well. And this is something, ladies and gentlemen, which I even posted yesterday on my social media account as well, that we wanted to wish everybody a happy new year. And for all of those people who live in our hearts, they will continue to live with us as well. And I
Yes.
think that this is something which everybody should think about, because if we need to move, we really need to get rid of all of those grievances which we have. We cannot carry that burden on ourselves. We really need to talk about it. We need to recognize our thoughts. That's very important. And be in conversation with somebody whom we trust. Because friends have friends too, ladies and gentlemen. And this is something which I'm going to say very honestly, and this is something which I might have gone through myself. That at times we are in conversation with friends, but remember, friends have friends as well. This is something which is very important. And this is something which is very often said by our parents as well, that do not share about what kind of work you're doing until and unless it's done.
It's been
Yes.
done.
And yeah, I've seen that for myself as well.
Yes.
You start to speak about something which you are about to do, and all of a sudden it's just gone. It's in the air as well.
Yes.
But sir, since you are here, something for Happy New Year. You're a great poet and author yourself. Would you mind sharing a few couplets with us as well and our viewers? Whatever you remember, whatever you recall.
I've written, as you know, 28 volumes of poetry.
Yes.
And they've been translated into many languages. But when it comes to remembering a line, I don't.
It's all right. Anything you want to say, sir, out from your heart, from the bottom of your heart.
Well, I think the most important thing in life for human beings is to give joy to others.
Exactly.
If you can make another person happy, you have achieved something.
Wonderful. And Okay, so I think that you've said such wonderful words as well, and this is something which we really need to kind of work on as well ourselves. Because when the society gives to you, I think it is your responsibility to give back to them as
Very
well.
true.
Yes.
But now, we're talking about making people happy, there's one more important aspect, and I think it is a continuous aspect of each and everyone's life, and that is that we continue to look for recognition every single day. And this is a huge part of us being successful. Imagine I'm going back to my household, you know, being in conversation with my father. He's never happy with whatever I'm doing. He's never. He's like, you have so much potential, you're wasting it. You're so much. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do and things
Yes,
like that. And I
yes.
think this is him pushing me that, okay, you know,
Yes.
you can go beyond, which is right. But every now and then when I've achieved something, probably I've taken back home an award or something which was reward for me.
Yes.
And I'm looking in his eyes and I'm thinking that, okay, he will recognize this, that, okay, you know, my son, I'm proud of you. But he's never said that. What about when we look for recognition and when we do not get it? How do you feel?
I said to personally,
And should we really be looking for recognition?
we should, because that's the human nature.
Yeah.
Because you won't know if you're successful until and unless somebody else says you're successful.
Yeah.
Because we ourselves are not capable of judging success. You measure success either by reflection,
Yeah.
that okay, the past year has been a success.
Yeah.
And you measure that by people's comments and, you know, people's views on what you're doing. So personally, if my father is like, you can do better, I'm personally like, ouch. Like it feels like deep right here, but
Like, yaar, aaj to keh dete yaar.
है ना आज true I've been through that, but being a father and seeing through his eyes has been something that's very important, like
Exactly.
recently been very important to me.
Exactly.
Because what I see myself like, you know, somebody who's doing good, but my father sees me as someone who can do even better.
Yeah.
And that's something that, you know, if I see from his vision, I can be like, wow, that's something that's new, and that's
Exactly,
something that's
and
unique.
this is something which keeps you on your toes as well. And ladies and gentlemen,
Exactly.
father is the only person in this world who will actually be very happy if you're going to cross him in terms of success, in terms of money, in terms of fame, in terms of anything. Father is the only person who will be happy. Mari,
Right.
what about you?
You know, this is the beautiful thing you can say at the last.
I say beautiful
you know,
thing,
yeah,
really,
you do. So basically, recognition. You know, everyone wants recognition, like at home as well. So mostly, I had to face the same thing.
Okay.
My father, like, you know, I said, you know, if I post that on social media, I got this. You know, like you can say, yeah, youth leader award. Everyone's like, you know, writing a paragraph and father, okay, good, and ignored. And I was like, what, seriously? And you know, I'm bringing the award at home and like, okay, good, rakh do wahan pe, you know. So that's the thing, keep pushing us. Okay, one day he will say that I am proud of you.
Uttar, I'm
You know,
proud of you.
that's, you know, we are waiting for that moment. Plus, moreover, you know, in like I used to work in a bank, so yesterday what happened, and you know, we got like 40 million deposit, and I called sir, I got the deposit. He said, okay, good. What about next 100 million? And I said, sir, you are never happy. And then he felt that, he said, you know, when you will progress, definitely I'll be happy.
Exactly.
That's the thing, is to keep, you know, you
So that
stay work and
you're
keep
on your
pushing
toes
you.
and that
Yes.
you're pushing constantly, and it is wonderful. And sir, I have to ask you this as well.
Yes.
That, you know, us looking for recognition, and there's one more important thing which I think is a U-turn in this conversation, and that is that how important it is for a father to be successful in order to make sure that he's pushing his kids for that particular acknowledgement which they're looking for in their father's eye.
Yes. I think basically two things I wanted to mention.
Sure.
The first one is like recognition. Like I post my poems on Facebook. Yes. So I definitely look every day that how many hits have I got.
Yeah. That's true.
Because that makes you feel that, well, it's
You're recognized.
Yeah.
you're recognized worldwide.
Exactly.
And people are enjoying it.
Exactly.
You see,
So it's important.
it's important.
Okay.
That is important.
Yes.
And then every day of our life, like we are sitting with you today, this is bringing us recognition
Alhamdulillah.
because you have such an excellent program,
Jazakallah.
and to be with you and talk with you,
Exactly.
this and coming on television, this is certainly bringing us recognition.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you very much for sharing pearls of wisdom with us as well. Thank you very much, Bilal, and thank you very much, Maria.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I wish and pray and hope that each and every one of us gets whatever we have wished for as well, ladies and
Inshallah,
gentlemen.
inshallah.
I think that the only thing is left is to ask for all of you people as well. We ask for Allah's mercy, we ask for His blessings, we ask for that, no matter what happens, Allah Mia, please protect us from all the evils in life as well. And we look up to Allah, and we will keep on looking up to Allah as well and asking for forgiveness and blessings from Allah Almighty. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you've certainly enjoyed the show, even though that, we kind of started in a very slower pace, but towards the end, we wanted to share these pearls of wisdom with all of you as well, because world, ladies and gentlemen, is a very different place. People have a lot of insecurities. People are not able to push. People have mental health issues. And if we want to do something, the first step needs to be ours, ladies and gentlemen. It just cannot be somebody else pushing us through the window that, hey, you know what, you can fly. No, it needs to be our leap of faith. Thank you very much for being with us. Wonderful to have you, sir. It's always very exciting to have people like Sir Irshad over here on the show as well, or Bilal or Maria for that matter. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm going to say Assalamu alaikum, Jummah Mubarak, Happy New Year. Make sure that you write to us on our Facebook page, which is with the name of World This Morning, on your television screens down below. On Twitter, it's World This Morning without a G. On YouTube, you have to look for PT World, and then the most viewed show on PT World, alhamdulillah, is World This Morning. The fabulous repeat is going to be at 5 past midnight. Till the next time, look after yourselves. Jummah Mubarak, Happy New Year.